My goodness, darling, we are going to talk about dreaming bigger in 20 and 23. And you might be in the middle of adversity right now. You might be experiencing a lot of things just not coming together for you. No matter how much you've pushed, things have just been hard. No matter how many videos you watch on YouTube to get encouraged, to get direction, things still don't seem to be going the way you want them to go, the way you even need them to go. And you might be feeling stuck. You might be feeling frustration. You might just be feeling a lot of friction in your life right now. So when you even hear the title of Dream Bigger, you're like, I'm just happy to make it to the next step. And so this is going to really support you. I really need you to show up with your heart in this video. So take in a deep breath with me and release all that tension inside in that chest. And in this moment, we're just gonna be still. We're gonna be present. And you're really gonna capture the essence, the spirit of what I'm gonna say in this. Because to get from A to Z, you know, sometimes we need help to get there. And so that's what I wanna do. I wanna give you some hope, some inspiration on how you can get there. So listen, if you ever need support from me, or you're like, I need to figure out how to do things differently in my life so that I can level up. Right now, I am doing a live experience. If you want to catch it live, you will have to sign up before May 7th of 2023. Am I saying the right date on that? Oh gosh, it may be earlier. I think it's May 7th, yes. And then also I have different courses to support you with vulnerability, how to have better boundaries to stand up for yourself, and then my ultimate program, my emotional warrior program. So if you're needing help in any of that, make sure you go do those programs. Most of my programs are all videos, so just the way I deliver here is how I like to deliver in my online courses. So if you need support, go there. If you're interested in coaching with me, I'll put an application in the comment section, but I have coaching available as well. So just know that the tools that you need to support you are there. I want to share with you, I did this on my Instagram live and I'm like, why did I share this very transformational, inspiring story on my Instagram live and not to my YouTube community? Because my YouTube community is my biggest community. So thank you for being here with me. I know I've gone through some algorithm challenges where some people aren't able to find me anymore. If you did find me, then you are meant to hear what I'm saying. And this says 2023, but the reality is that you can take the breath of this and it can transform any situation that you're in so that you can dream bigger and have bigger dreams. So I want to just jump into this. So I had this dream and I want you to think about what it is that you're really wanting in your life. Keep that in the forefront. When you hear this story that I'm going to share with you, keep what you're looking for in your life to have happen, keep that in the back of your mind or the forefront of your mind as I share this story. And the reason why you want to do that is because there's always power. When someone tells you of a victory that they've had, when you receive that with an open heart, there's a transference that happens. There's an energy, there is a magic, a miracle, a momentum, power that comes with that story that then integrates into your life and becomes a part of your story in helping your dream come true. So this is why it's imperative that you listen to this from your heart. Even if your mind goes, no, that can't happen for me. Mind, we need you to be quiet right now. The heart is gonna listen and the heart is gonna show up. So that has to be at attention right now, is this heart of yours, okay? So I'm gonna tell you this story and it's going to encourage you, but it's also gonna breathe some life, some hope, and some magic into your dreams so that things start transforming in your life. So I had a dream back in 2019. I've been toying with living in France, which, jump ahead, we all know that if you're following me that I live in France now. But I had this dream forever. And so many people said, you know, like, oh, it's just a dream, like, let it go. Why do you want to live there? Like, what's so great about France? Lots of people told me why I should not live in France. And so, but it was a dream in my heart, like something in my spirit. My grandmother was French. She never made it to France. And so it was like, there's just that dream that I was going to do this. So there may be a dream that you're having right now, and life's difficulties are showing you that that's never going to happen. Or people are telling you that you just need to settle and just suffer and settle for a life less than what you believe for yourself. Keep that in mind. So I had moved, I went to Paris for a month, fell in love with it, and then went to Bali, Indonesia. And then guess what happened? COVID happened. I wanted to really upgrade myself. I booked a flight with Emirates, and I was like, I'm gonna go stay in Paris in the month of December or in the Christmas time. I want to go there for a month, and I just want to experience what France is like. Like, I just, in all seasons, I felt the winter, but I want to experience a different season. So I had booked a flight, and I was going to fly with Emirates. Now I'm wondering if I'm getting the dates wrong. I shared it on Instagram, and I was like, were those the right dates? But get the heart of the message. And this is, you might have a dream right now, and my challenge to you is you might need to be dreaming bigger. And your subconscious in your mind is going to tell you, no, if the dream's not happening, then you obviously need to minimize it. But that's actually wrong. Most of the time, we need to expand our dream. Most of the time, we're not dreaming big enough. Most of us have the capacity to do far more than what we're setting ourselves up for. So I want to go live in France. I want to experience it. And I want to upgrade myself with an Emirates flight. So I do that. I'm all pumped, but I'm in Bali, Indonesia. I'm living my best life. I'm having tons of adventures. It's a blast. And then COVID happens. And I got this intuitive hit. It was a very holy day in Bali, but something intuitively said, you're going to be staying in Bali longer than you had intended. And I was like, that's cool, like, I'm happy. I'm very content with my life here in Bali. That means just more magic gets to happen. But it was in the middle of COVID, and everyone was getting really scared in Bali. All the expats and digital nomads were getting scared and saying we should go back to our home countries because this could be a huge pandemic, and we didn't know that at the time. And maybe Bali doesn't have the infrastructure to support all of us, so we should all just go home. And so I had this feeling of, you're supposed to stay. And I said to God, I just said, listen, there's a lot of confusion in the atmosphere right now. I can feel a lot what's going on in surrounding areas around me. And I'm like, I can feel the confusion, it's palpable. And so I need a confirmation that I'm hearing clearly. So what I need is an email from Emirates saying that my flight has been canceled. And that's it. I let it go. It was a holy day in Bali, so I was hanging out with a friend at the time, and we just kind of like did our day, and I completely forgot about that whole conversation that had happened that morning. The next morning, I wake up, pay attention to this, and this is a lesson for you. Always pay attention to the signs. Communicate what you want, communicate what you need. This is boundaries. This is why I have my boundaries course, because we need to have boundaries too with how our dreams manifest in our relationship with God and how we co-create things. It's like, this is, okay, great, you're telling me this is what I need. And so I spoke up and I said, I need this. I woke up the next morning and I had an email from Emirates saying, your flight has been canceled. That was it. No, this is how you reschedule it. Nothing. It's just canceled. And I was like, oh, then shit got real. That's when I was like, oh man, I'm really staying in Bali. And of course I got a little scared, even though I had that epiphany the day before. The reality is I was staying somewhere and it wasn't necessarily something that I was choosing. It was, my choice was taken away and I was having to stay. And I was like, well, I don't like this. So here's the thing, guys. This is why I'm telling you, you have to dream bigger. You have to expand the dream. You're gonna hear this and you're like, oh my gosh, she was not even prepared for this. Okay, now we start getting more information. It's a pandemic. And I was like, oh wow, things are gonna get rough in the world. And I'm like, what better place to be to encourage people but here in Bali, where it's a magical place, where there's magic energy everywhere, there's joy in the land. What a better place to continue to serve from. But in my serving, I had some, challenges that I was going through, and in Bali, there are some incredible healers there. And so I hired an Indonesian therapist there, and just really began to tap into some inner child stuff that was still working itself out. Sometimes when we go through healings, when we go through up levels, our system, our body, our nervous system can only manage so much to go up in our levels, from glory to glory, to go from level to level. So my system had been able to process so much of inner child stuff. And then I started working with this therapist, and more began to come out. And so as I was doing this, I didn't know that pay attention to this, that in the frustration, in the despair, in the hopelessness, because it was scary in those times. Like, I would call my friends in the States and they would say, we have the same information, we have the same care, we have the same tests as you guys do. Like, we're all in this boat of what the hell is going on together. So in the midst of all of that, I was finding tools to heal myself so that I could up level. I firmly believe that life is supposed to get bigger, it's supposed to expand, that we are supposed to grow, that we are capable of so much, that we're never ever supposed to stay small. In fact, the people who come to this kind of video, who watch this kind of video, have this same mentality, that my life is not supposed to stay small, it's supposed to expand as I expand. And my life is a reflection of what's going on with my desires and my beliefs. So I really went through that season in Bali, and then I found a nervous system. I didn't even know about nervous system work, and I started working with a therapist to help me with my nervous system. I'd always, had challenges with rage and anger. It was like I could be super happy, but when I felt scared, it was like, boom, I could just get into rage. And she saw that, and she began to help me with my nervous system to find joy and to not shame anger. I work with so many clients, especially men, where they struggle with anger and rage, and that society shames that side of us. And it's actually a beautiful thing. It's some unprocessed emotions that need a voice. And so she gave me tools how to regulate that, how to release those emotions, how to play with those emotions and not to shame them. Because whenever we have shame, we stuff stuff inside. So I'm going through all of this, and this is just really up-leveling me to the point where I've got my friends saying to me, whoa, like beginning version of Bali Arica and the version of Arica now are two different women. People were noticing the transformation in my YouTube videos, saying like, wow, you're, towards the end, they're like, your work is even evolving. The way that you deliver your message is changing. So I was going through an upgrade, and oh wow, we're already 14 minutes in. And I started finding I'm not gonna rush through this. I started finding a peace inside of being where I was. I was having so much joy. I was arranging lots of adventures to go on while I was going through this up-leveling. I believe that even if we're going through hard times and you're going through the upgrade, which is why I'm doing this program live right now about up-leveling you, up-leveling your intimacy, but it's really about up-leveling you in your life. If you don't get a part of, if you can't join the live portion, then you can sign up for just the trainings in themselves, but it's going to be life-changing. And so in the upgrade, there is turbulence, there's friction, and there are challenges, and it is hard. I'm a huge believer, and I don't know if most other teachers see it this way, but I believe that you still have to find joy in the hard times. You have to create moments of joy. And so as I was going through this healing and working with my nervous system, with working with both therapists, I was also arranging for lots of adventures. I think you can find some of those adventures in my older videos, like A Day in the Life. I did 2 of them. And so I was having these adventures. I became at peace with where I was. I thought, this is my life. I live in Bali, and maybe someday I'll get to live in France. Here comes the dream that gets expanded. I can't even make this up because you guys all saw it on national television. Well, you didn't see all of it, but you saw some of it. I get an email from a production company saying, hey, we have this show. Would you be interested? And I have gotten so many of these emails from lots of production companies throughout the past 10 years. And I wrote them back and I said, hey, listen, I live in Bali, Indonesia now. I don't plan on coming back to Los Angeles, so I'm just curious, why did you reach out? The casting agent was very smart and said, listen, let's get on a phone call. I think you really want to hear about this opportunity. Lo and behold, what is the opportunity? If you've been following me, you know that I just had a national television show on Bravo called Love Without Borders, where we do what? We take 5 singles who can't find love and we send them to other countries to find love. Guess where one of those other countries were? France, Paris. I'm like, this cannot be happening, like in a good way. Wait, what? I'm gonna go to France and film my own TV show? Like, I was just wanting to go there again and book an Emirates flight. Not only that, but Dubai was also one of the countries we went to. And I ended up flying with Emirates to Dubai. And not only did I fly with Emirates, I flew with Emirates business class, which, as some of you know, if you fly business class a lot, then you know what that ticket costs. And I didn't have to pay for it. The production company paid for it. You see, my dream was like only to what I could achieve. But if you believe in like the supernatural, where they say with the supernatural, you do everything you can in the natural, and then God adds the super to it, and it becomes the supernatural. This is co-creating together. So I'm like, what the heck? I did get the TV show. You've seen it, or if you haven't, I think you can watch it on Amazon Prime. And so I'm like, I was stunned, just stunned. You didn't get to see this on TV, but even the place that we filmed the first day, I started crying, which I do. When my heart gets touched, I just cry. Even when I'm working with clients, I just cry. It's just my heart. And so we show up, and I'm going to film with the guy, Mael, who's in Paris. And the cafe that we meet at, I'm like, is this a joke? Is someone playing a joke on me? We filmed in the exact neighborhood that I had lived in Paris, that I was gonna go back to live again for another month. I even paid the deposit on this place. We go there and we film, and I said, this has got to be a joke. This is the same neighborhood I lived in, Montmartre. And the cafe that I was meeting Mael at, that we were filming our first scene in, was a cafe that I would go to have my pain au chocolates and my coffee. If you follow my Instagram, you know I have a pain au chocolate and a coffee every single day. And I was like, this is unreal. Unreal. And then when I flew to Dubai, and they were like, you're gonna have to fly with Emirates. Not you're gonna have to, you're gonna fly with Emirates. And then I was flying business class. I remember just sitting there and they had this like wood panel. I showed a picture on, if you get my emails, I sent a picture in there. But I just remember looking at the wood panels and just touching everything and drinking, obviously, my glass of champagne. And I was like, this is unreal. This is unreal. And this is my life. So my little dream of living in Paris and flying with Emirates got upgraded into, girl, you're not just gonna go to Paris. You are gonna be filming your own television show that is gonna be nationwide. You're gonna have that opportunity. And yes, you're gonna fly with Emirates, but you're gonna fly in business class. My dream got expanded. And so what does this mean for you? Hopefully you're catching the life, the power, and the magic, and those are depositing seeds into your ground, into your belly where your desires are, and it's depositing seeds there. So what does that mean? You might be like, Arica, I'm in the middle of turmoil. I'm in the middle of friction. This is what I encourage you to do. I encourage you to do what I did, which was up level on the way to the dream. And as you up level, and listen to this, pay attention. As you up level and as you expand your capacity, so your dream gets expanded with you. So what did I do in that up-leveling process? Like I said, I hired my therapist. I worked with a nervous system person. I expanded my inside. And like I said, I'm doing this Uplevel Your Intimacy program live that's coming up. You can sign up, I think it's till May 7th. All this is in the description below. You can hire me as a coach to help take you to the next level. You can do one of my programs, like you're like, okay, I know I suck at boundaries. I know I suck at vulnerability. I suck at making connections with people. Like I have all of these courses to get you there, but it's up to you. See, the therapist, I had to hire them and say like, I know that this person touches my life. If my work touches your life and you feel me, then I'm your coach. Then you should be hiring me or you should be doing my courses. But when that therapist that I worked with for the first time, I said, oh no, you have a gift and your gift is impacting my life. I need to pay you for that. So I'm signing up and I'm moving forward and we're doing therapy every month. When I worked with my breathwork nervous system therapist, coach, I don't even know what she calls herself, I saw that my body was responding. I was getting freedom. I could feel it in my body. And I said, oh no, I have to hire you. I have to keep working with you. But you see, I did not just pause and go, I'm just waiting for this to come. I was like, no. These are opportunities that are presenting themselves. It's my responsibility. If I want this dream to come to pass, the things that are set before me, it's up to me to grab a hold of those and make them work for my life. And if you're watching that video, I can guarantee that that's where you are right now. And so now you have a choice on what you will do to expand you. Because the dream will grow with you. And good to have a dream, but be in the position to allow yourself to grow so that the dream can grow bigger and better than what your mind can imagine. And listen, you know, for me, I had no agent. There was no agent out there, you know, peddling my name to anybody. I wasn't emailing production companies. None of this was going on in the background. I repeat, none of that was going on in the background. The only thing that was going on was I was expanding Arica Angelo. I was growing, I was healing things. I was developing a larger capacity to be able to hold more. And then the email came. And so I want to encourage you with this. Listen, babe, you, in the midst of your waiting for the dream, don't just sit around hoping that it's going to come. Expand, because I promise you, the dream expands with you. Now, like I said, if you need help with any of my online courses, the ones that I mentioned, helping you with connection, boundaries, I've got 2 boundary products. I've got my vulnerability, I have my emotional warrior coach. All of that's in the description, or you can become a part of this up-leveling experience. That will be in the description. And if you're interested in coaching with me, I'll put an application in the comment section. But listen, you got this. The friction, the frustration are just all opportunities knocking on your door going, hey, it's time for you to expand. It's time for you to up-level. You gotta grow up in the best way possible because there's so much coming for you. I'll leave you with this last analogy for my visual people. If you can imagine a tree that is got deep, deep, deep roots going on the ground, and this tree is expanding on the outside, how much more fruit can it contain the larger it gets? It's the same for you. As your roots expand and as your tree, as you become larger, so will be the tangible fruits that come out of your life. You're loved. You've got this. Now roll up your sleeves and start expanding. I'll see you in my next video.